Day 9, believe it or not, of Can You Learn This Tense Before the Song Ends. And today's song could be my favorite Spanish song ever. It is Bailando by Enrique Iglesias. And today's tense is the imperfect tense, but looking at ER and IR verbs. And a side note, if you want like a fun Spanish challenge for the rest of the summer holidays, make yourself learn. There's a fast bit in Bailando. Teach yourself that. So anyway, we've got 4 minutes today, which is great. I actually don't think we're going to need that long, but sometimes my perception of time can be off. So vámonos. If you haven't watched yesterday's video, I do recommend you do that first because this is kind of going to build on that. But just a key reminder of what the imperfect tense is. And in English, we use the word used to. And that is a key part of an indicator that we need to use the imperfect tense in Spanish. It's the idea of something that happened continuously in the past or something that didn't just happen once. So it happened over a period of time. And yesterday we looked at the idea of the line. And you think that, okay, if I could cut this line and say this action happened here, then it is the preterite tense. But if I'm saying actually this action happened between 2 points on the line, then that would be the imperfect tense. So like when I was younger, I used to play football. I was younger from 3 till 11, let's say. So it happened during this time. Or the hotel I went to was modern. The hotel like exists in the past. It doesn't just exist on one point. So therefore that's a description. Descriptions in the past are always using the imperfect because the thing that you're describing doesn't just exist at one point on the line, it exists across the line. And so it's that idea, if something exists across 2 points on the line, then it is the imperfect tense. ER and IR verbs act exactly the same in the past tense. The endings are the same. They're a bit less fun than the ABBA for AR verbs, but we need to know it nonetheless. So as always, same 3 steps. Infinitive, today ending in ER and IR, remove the ER and IR, and then we add our endings. And so if the action is being done by I, like I used to, it ends in ia, and there will always be an accent on that I. If you were doing the action, ias. If it was he, she, or it, ia. So I and he, she, and it are always the same in the imperfect tense, AR, ER, IR, doesn't matter. We were doing the action, íamos. You all were doing the action, iais, and they were doing the action, ian. So a useful verb here as an example, let's go with tener. Tener is a verb that we would actually use a lot in this tense to talk about like age, because had is often something you had over a period of time. Or if I'm describing someone, for example, she had blue eyes. Those blue eyes existed across 2 points on the line, therefore we use the imperfect. So I had, tenía. You had, tenías. He, she, or it had, tenía. We had, teníamos. You all had, teníais. And they had, tenían. So now we're going to consolidate that with some practice. 3 verbs, support reducing each time. So first verb, we're going to go with hacer, the verb to do. So, como se dice, for example, I used to do. Hacía, muy bien. And we used to do. Hacíamos, perfecto. Example number 2. And often at GCSE, you're going to use the imperfect tense in the context of like what you used to do when you were younger. So you might start by saying, cuando era joven, I used to eat chocolate every day, for example. So, como se dice, I used to eat. Comía, muy bien. And we used to eat. Comíamos, excelente. Right, last one. Como se dice, I used to live. Vivía, muy bien. And we used to live. Vivíamos, muy bien. And that's it. We needed those 4 minutes, but I hope it's been super useful and you have a better understanding now of how to use verbs in the imperfect tense and when to use the imperfect tense. Tomorrow's video is going to be focused just on irregulars in the imperfect and like the most important verbs that if you're only going to learn the imperfect on a superficial basis to get you through your GCSEs, then those are the verbs in tomorrow's video that you're definitely going to want to know. So I will see you then. Hasta mañana.